Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Could $1,700 gold be the ticket to new record high prices? Let's explore. We have seen gold dip up above $1,700 as of late, but I think if we see it sustain that price level for a while, we could be on the path to record prices for gold. Let's take a look at a couple different articles here that talk about this. We may see gold soar to a record $2,000, according to an analyst here from MarketWatch, and this is something that I think is certainly in the realm of possibility. Gold's performance in the weeks since the COVID-19 became a pandemic has been anything but stellar. Prices were volatile, briefly turning lower for the year before climbing to the highest level since 2012. The precious metal has been torn between its potential as a haven investment and a mad scramble to sell the tangible asset in a bid for cash to cover losses on the stock market. I'm going to correct them right there because I don't think it was a mad scramble to sell the tangible asset, but the paper ETFs, the exchange traded funds are what's being sold. Not many people were selling the actual metal itself that I know of. The COVID-19 outbreak has had a major impact on the gold market, bringing massive price swings as investors react to new developments related to the pandemic, said Stephen Dunn, head of exchange traded funds at Aberdeen Standard Investments. Because of COVID-19, refiners were knocked offline, and the ability to move gold became a challenge as normal means of transport became almost impossible. The World Health Organization officially declared COVID-19 a pandemic on the 11th of March, but gold prices didn't immediately rally as many expected. Even as they hit, the global economy became apparent with the closure of schools and businesses around the world. Gold futures settled at $1,477.90 an ounce on March the 18th, their lowest finish year to date, before eventually moving up to an intraday high of $1,754 on Thursday, the highest intraday mark since November 2012. Gold usually goes through a shakeout of weak hands before hitting new highs, says Jeb Handwerger, editor of Gold Stock Trades, which tracks the junior mining exploration and development sector, referring to futures traders who don't intend to take delivery of their underlying commodity. Year to date, Thursday, however, gold is up more than 15% versus a more than 14% decline in the S&P 500 index. Gold is breaking out into new all-time highs against most currencies except the US dollar, which is the strongest fiat currency left, says Handwerger. After settling at $1,752.80 on Thursdays, prices now trade at about $171 an ounce away from the all-time intraday high of $1,923.70 on the 6th of September 2011. A hold above $1,700 would be very constructive in terms of giving gold a boost up to all-time highs. That's just it. It would have to sustain at levels above $1,700, I believe, to get to that point. It will take time for the metal to reach those levels, says Adam Coos, president of Libertas Wealth Management Group. In the aftershock of the COVID-19 virus is a much deeper, wider iceberg under the surface of the economy. Then I think we could see an acceleration in buying pressure on gold. It's difficult to imagine an economy that flourishes through the remainder of this year, and for that reason, Koo says he expects to see higher gold prices. He's reluctant to say prices will reach a record, but he does see a higher probability that prices move up to hit all-time highs, then drop back towards the $1,500 level by year end. I'm with him on that. I think that gold is probably heading a bit higher too. Peter Grosskopf, chief executive asset manager Sprott, however, believes prices may rise beyond a record. We are close followers of trading and flows in the bullion markets as well as the underlying technical analysis, most of which point to gold over $2,000 sometime late this year or early next, he says. There's too much debt at all levels. We have borrowed from the future, and there's not enough economy to pay it down. That equation requires much more financial repression going forward, and gold is a great hiding place from that process. An opportunity in the gold mining space is also developing. It is a great time to buy gold equities, which were sold off with general equities in the rush to meet margin gains last month, says Grosskopf. The margins will be at record levels moving forward. And that just goes to tell you that, there's that school of thought, and I'm of that school of thought that I think that gold will go higher. Now, there may be a chance that we could see a massive more shock to the economy, which could lead to deflationary prices. I mean, look at oil right now. Gas prices keep going down, and there is a chance if we see a deflationary period, that's going to suck in the metals, I think, as well to it, which means that we could see gold go back down, maybe $1,200, silver maybe $10, who knows? But I think in the medium term to long term, or into next year, potentially, I think we will see these higher prices. Barron's also did an article about this, talks about that we could be heading for a record and why it's still a safe haven. Now this covers exactly the same thing the Market Watch article talks about here, and how this has some charts that talks about the Dow Jones Commodity Index. All commodities futures and precious metals futures have been trending upwards here as of late, whereas petroleum is down. And so, how much would that suck out of the potential for this move in other commodities going down in a deflationary period? Who knows? We'll see. But as of right now, the market is closed, and we're seeing gold steadily up there, very strong, at $1,686.60 on the close, and silver is $15.50 in the ask price. So fascinating to see. It's up actually as a pretty good performer, the best performer of the three precious metals, platinum, silver, and gold. So it's encouraging to see movement in silver as well, and starting to act normal in a sense. This is what happens, although we haven't seen it act like this for quite a while. But there are days when silver actually acts normal, which means it's volatile to the upside as well as the downside. We'll see how this all plays out. It is fascinating to see the movement in the metals as they are here, and I believe that we will be heading to probably some sort of destabilizing forces in the economy. More fear is coming with every passing day that the economy, and even not just the U.S. economy, but economies around the world are being hit by this. And we've never been here before, so we shall see exactly how this plays out. And I believe that really it is only going to prove bullish for the precious metals, which is good for those of you who hold, and bad for those of you who want to buy. And so then the question is, well, should I be buying on the way up? Well, maybe, if you can afford it. I think in times of economic struggle or uncertainty, gold and silver tend to be the safe havens that will typically perform well, aside from, possible deflationary forces that may come into play before any kind of inflation or hyperinflation. But notwithstanding, I believe it is wise and prudent to stock up on necessities, and have a stockpile of cash on hand also as well, because I think that is really what's going to save you in the immediate aftermath of a situation that could be a dire economic situation, almost near an SHTF scenario. Although when I think of an SHTF scenario, I'm thinking of typically a total economic collapse and a dollar collapse. And in that case, Well, there's where silver is going to come into play, I think even more so than gold. I have a series of videos that talks about that in a playlist called Silver and SHTF, and it kind of describes and how silver will play a role even more so than gold in that future. But gold is the more stable of the two precious metals, I believe, in terms of holding its value and preserving your wealth. And long as the ultimate safe haven out there, and I think it will have a role as well. But I think as far as day-to-day transactions and a reformation of a potential scary situation that I think is highly unlikely even in these turbulent times, I believe silver plays a part. Both metals are certainly valuable to hold and serve their purposes. So there you have it. Very interesting indeed. I believe we will see gold prices. I'm bullish on them, but nonetheless, we'll see how it plays out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Post your thoughts below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.